Did you know that low back injuries are the most common source of pain and dysfunction for warehouse workers, but that many of these injuries are preventable? By using proper lifting and handling techniques in the warehouse, you significantly reduce your risk for developing low back pain and disorder. This video will show you ways you can protect yourself and be more efficient throughout your workday. It starts with the classic ergonomic directions. Bend at your knees and lift with ease. But is this really the best suggestion for lifting? Especially when you're on the clock and so many of your coworkers are lifting this way. We know that bending the back and twisting while you lift significantly increases the pressure and forces on your back. Computer models can be used to estimate this pressure. And with an increase into the red zone, you become more at risk for back injury. Here's what it looks like inside your back. Each bone of your spine has a disc between them that's just like a jelly donut. As the pressure in your back goes up with each incorrect lift, you're pressing harder and harder on this donut. By doing a lift correctly, these low back forces will decrease into a safer pressure zone. To do a proper squat lift, there are just 4 steps to follow. First, squat to the level of the object by bending your knees. Bring the load between your knees, keeping it as close to your body as possible. Maintain a straight or slightly arched back while keeping your head up, and finally, at a controlled speed, lift the object by using your legs. The best times to use this lift are when you're handling small to medium-sized objects that weigh no more than 50 pounds. However, there will be times the squat lift just won't work. For instance, when lifting dog food or other awkward-shaped objects. This is when you can use the straddle lift. As the name suggests, you stand over the object with one leg on each side. You will still bend at the knees, keep a straight or slightly arched back with your head up, and since you are straddling the item, the weight of the load is close to your body, which will reduce the pressure on your back. Even for small loads, improper lifting can lead to injury. The golfer's lift is a great technique for picking up any extremely light object. To do a golfer's lift, raise one leg back while you bend over. This keeps your back straight and will reduce the amount of stress on your low back much more than when you bend at the waist. But before you even start the lift, what happens if you see that you aren't easily able to get the object? Pickers are available, and they are being used, but you still might be tempted to just reach instead. Reaching causes you to bend your back and increases your chance of injury if you lift in this position. So as you get to those items, think to yourself, if I have to reach, I better be using the picker. And as you walk to the pallet, always keep the load close to your body. Instead of reaching over the pallet, walk around to place the load. The time you spend now is more than made up for with a future of pain-free moving. And not only is proper lifting important in the warehouse, it is also important to safely set down items. In fact, about 2 out of every 3 back injuries are caused by lowering the load rather than lifting it. So continue to maintain your same lifting form and use a controlled speed when setting an item down. Keep in mind that each lift you do adds up. And just as we've demonstrated, your body's position while you lift affects the pressure on your back. By choosing to use the proper lifting techniques like the squat lift, the straddle lift, and the golfer's lift, and avoiding reaching with proper handling techniques, you are helping to avoid low back pain and injury on the job. And that's all there is to it. Some simple but effective ways to protect your back while still keeping up with your work.